Happy Saturday morning, viewers out there in TV land. Wait a minute, we don't say TV land anymore. We say Streamland nowadays. Welcome to Sid and Marty Krofft's and Cineverse's 420 Sid and Marty Krofft channel Saturday morning watch party.
Woo!
Yeah. I'm Rob Klein. I work for Sid and Marty, and we're here with somebody that needs no introduction, HR Pufnstuf.
Oh, hi. Hi, everybody. Well, thank you for the introduction anyway there, Rob. I appreciate it.
Well, Puff, you know, I'm a big fan of yours, and I'm glad to have you here. High five.
Yeah.
And joining us also, we have a legendary actor, wonderful guy, friend of the Krofft Company for many years, Mr. David Arquette.
Hi. Hey. Hi.
How you doing, David?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we're great. How great. This is Saturday morning. We're here with Pufnstuf and you.
Yeah.
Things are great. You know, David, I'm really excited to tell everybody out there that you are the head bozo for the Bozo the Clown franchise. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's I've always loved Bozo. We're trying to bring love, light, and laughter back to the clown world. So we're really excited. We introduced Jozo Bozo, who's the first female Bozo the Clown, and actually met Jessica Harrison, who's the Bozo behind Jozo through the Krofft world. So it's all sort of interconnected.
Well, your stories about Krofft, the ones that Marty has shared with me over the years, if you don't mind, I might ask you to tell about a few of those adventures you guys have had.
Absolutely.
But what we're going to do today, everybody, is we're going to take a look at 3 Krofft classic shows. We're going to start off with an episode from Eure show, Puff, called HR Pufnstuf. It's the great episode called Jimmy Who.
Oh, yeah. Classic. Can't wait.
Now, this was the last episode that aired in the HR Pufnstuf series. And basically, not to spoil anything, this is the one where Jimmy gets amnesia, and everybody's got to help him remember who he is by going through all the adventures that he had on Living Island with Puff and the gang.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Puff
it's
says,
like
let's
Saturday
go.
morning all over again.
We don't have any sugar cereal, though, but hopefully out there, the viewers have it ready to go.
You do at home. Pour yourself a big bowl.
Puff, do you have a favorite sugar cereal?
Oh, I have several of them, but I don't want to advertise for them because I feel like that'd be inappropriate.
Yeah, we don't want to get in any trouble today. So, you know, we just want to have good, clean fun. David, what's your favorite sugar cereal? You could probably remember.
I don't really want to advertise either.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's just forget that.
I love raisins in my cereal.
Got it. Yeah.
If I did have a sugary cereal, I'd probably have a vampire on the box. There's a hint.
There you go. Oh, nice.
Wow.
Well, if I did, it would probably have some marshmallows.
Ooh. That's hints out there for everybody watching. So if you don't know your sugar cereal history, you can get on the internet and maybe figure out what we're talking about.
Oh, and one fun fact is now with the internet and all this stuff, you can actually order just the marshmallows.
Like a whole bag of the marshmallows?
Yes, you can.
I can just pour myself a bowl of pure marshmallows?
Yeah.
I've been eating cereal the wrong way this whole time.
This is amazing. That may be the most important update that I've heard so far. So
you bet.
Can you send us a link to that maybe? And
are they vitamin fortified?
I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff. I think if you freeze dry them, they get like really big.
Oh yeah.
Would that be considered astronaut food?
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'd like that in a space capsule.
Yeah. Yeah. Puff, have you ever thought about going up into space? Or
I've thought many times about going up into space. And one time I thought I actually did go up into space. But I had just eaten too many marshmallows out of my sugar cereal.
Man.
Yeah. Plus, my head's too big to fit in the capsule door. I measured. And I can't do it. I can't even get in the simulator.
I would assume that making your space helmet would be very expensive because you do have a big marshmallow head and be extra expensive, you know.
You know, I used to take offense to those kinds of comments, but you are absolutely right.
Yeah,
I own it now.
Yeah, we just want to be straight up, you know. I mean,
and I've got a big marshmallow head too, so
thank you, David. I suddenly don't feel so alone.
Bozo actually went up into zero gravity with NASA when he was in the 60s. Yeah.
Whoa.
We have a documentary coming out, and there's a clip of it, of him going into space. And we also have a bunch of clowns in space, essentially.
That's fantastic. I'd love to study how a lack of gravity affects his hair. Wow.
Yeah, they had to put a whole thing on. So
I bet they did.
I would add it to the outside of the helmet, perhaps.
Yeah, so like the space helmet would have to encapsulate to make room for Bozo's hair. So that would be another complicated build for the spacesuit industry.
Yeah, just be afraid that it would burn up on re-entry.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's yak hair after all.
Yeah. Hey, that's a fun fact I didn't know before. Boy, I learned so much on Saturday mornings.
Why is there so much yak hair used in the industry? It's like their hair must be very thick and special,
It's thick and special, and it doesn't absorb moisture as easily, so it stays drier.
Yeah, plus it smells like yak.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yum.
Wow.
Yakety yak.
Yeah. Yeah. Yakety yak, don't talk back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yaks are delightful. They smell like lavender.
Wow. Well, everything smells good on Living Island, so I understand.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fact. It's very fragrant.
Do the fragrances on Living Island, can they talk as well, or are they a silent character?
Can the fragrances talk, Rob? It's a fragrance.
Okay.
I mean, everything's living except maybe smells.
Okay.
I don't know. That's maybe pushing it too far.
Yeah, that might have been something that you guys would have covered in episode 18, but that one didn't get filmed because you made a Pufnstuf feature film instead.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which was very successful.
David, have you ever seen the Pufnstuf feature film that Marty and Sid made with Universal Studios?
No, I haven't.
Well, maybe that could be something that we could all watch together in the future.
I would love that. It's got some great music in there, too.
Wow, it does. That was all written by the great Charlie Fox.
Charlie Fox.
And Puff, I know you're a Charlie Fox fan. Can you remember a few songs that he composed?
I'm huge. I love his theme song for Wonder Woman. He did "Killing Me Softly." Which even though it's got the word "killing" in it, it's real friendly.
Yeah, it's friendly. It's gentle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, nice. He also did the theme song for a show called Love American Style. Did you ever watch that?
Wow.
I did not. But you know what I did see is Laverne and Shirley.
Ooh, and he wrote that.
I like both them gals. That was a great theme song right there. Oh, and Love Boat. Oh, can't forget about Love Boat. Exciting and new.
Yeah,
every time.
The lyrics were written by Paul Williams. David, do you remember Paul Williams? He was a big 70s star.
Yes, of course I do.
Yeah. Amazing,
there was that amazing film that's like based on Phantom of the Opera. It's anybody knows
Phantom of the Paradise.
Phantom of the Paradise.
Yeah,
he was amazing in that.
That might be inappropriate for you, Pufnstuf, because that's maybe a little pushing PG. So I don't know. Our shows aren't allowed on Living Island, probably, right?
Which shows?
Like R-rated movies. I don't. Maybe Phantom of the Paradise was PG. I'm not too sure.
I don't know. There's a section of the island where all sorts of stuff goes on that I'm not really privy to.
Right.
I just run it as an elected official. I don't meddle in everybody's business.
I get it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really unique for a politician.
Isn't it? Sometimes I'm just very hands off.
Let's take a look at this Pufnstuf episode.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Pufnstuf.
Let's go.
Pufnstuf. Oh, what? Yeah.
Wow.
There he is. Jack Wild.
Look at him. Yeah. Do you remember Jack Wild?
I do.
Yeah, he's amazing talent.
He did such a good job in this show.
Now here we are at Lake Arrowhead, California. This is where they did these shots. And look at that amazing boat.
That is a fantastic boat.
That boat is so great.
Yeah, it's called the Beautiful Boat. That's the actual title for that. Did you know that?
I don't know that I ever knew that. But it is quite beautiful. Until this happens.
Oh, no.
Oh, look at that.
Now it's the Evil Boat.
Okay.
Oh, no.
On and on and on and on and on and on and on.
You know,
It's so great
let me-
the way they've like I don't know.
Look, it's me.
It's
Sure.
you.
I got a little story to tell about the beautiful boat and the witch's boat. I was looking to see if it still survived. And Bill Tracy, who's worked for Sid and Marty for 40 years, said, well, the boat wasn't even floating that well when they were shooting the show.
Oh, no.
So it probably didn't survive too much longer after you completed your series, Puff.
Is it at the bottom of Lake Arrowhead?
We should go. Do you have a dive suit? Let's go take a look sometime.
Well, again, building a helmet for this head is a real challenge. So, no, I do not have a diving suit.
Yeah, well, we're going to need a
I
bunch
was
of
always a huge fan of that dance.
Oh, absolutely. He made that up.
Oh, no kidding. That's
Yeah.
so wonderful.
And there's Kling and Clang.
Oh,
Oh,
they were fun.
Oh my God, there's the Vroom Vroom, Witchy Poo, and Orson.
I like that they use xylophones and glockenspiels in the score. You don't hear those too much nowadays.
Yeah, classic instruments.
Oops.
There it is.
Man.
Oh no.
He did all his own stunts. Yeah, look at him.
Yeah, I didn't know that. He did all his own stunts. That's
Well,
fascinating.
most of them,
Yeah,
I gotta say. But just that was him, for reals.
and there's Spotted Horse.
Gracious, Jimmy, I almost stepped on you. Jimmy, come on, get up. This is no time to sleep. Come on.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my head.
Jimmy, what's the matter? Are you all right?
Hi, who are you?
Huh? I'm your friend Horace. Don't you remember me, Jimmy?
Wow.
Who's Jimmy?
You're Jimmy.
Oh,
What's my name?
well, he should just listen to his own voice. You can tell by the accent.
It's hard to forget that great accent that
Yeah.
Jack Wilde had.
So fantastic.
Do you see Spotted Horse much anymore?
You know, he and I lost touch. He moved to the other side of the island.
Mm.
I haven't seen him in quite some time. But, you know, he has a great reading library. Nobody noticed. Yeah, he reads a lot.
Who are you?
Wow.
See? I told you. I told you.
You know who I am, Jimmy. I'm your friend Pufnstuf.
Yeah.
Pufnstuf. And this here is your pal Freddy.
Who's Freddy?
Jimmy, stop playing games. I'm Freddy. Surely you remember Kling and Klein.
Who?
That does it. Jimmy,
Oh, he doesn't.
to see Dr. Blanky.
Who?
Who? I'm the owl. I'm supposed to say who, not you. Oh, my gracious. Here it is.
Wow.
A lumpity bump. And what a lumpity bump. Look, Pufnstuf. See? Right here.
Ow, that hurt.
Wow. Lumpity bump.
That's a special kind of bump.
Yeah.
Pufnstuf.
Regular bumpity bumps don't get you to lose your memory.
Now, Pufnstuf, I'm going to give a little bit of a trivia thing here, so if it confuses you, I can kind of fill you in maybe
Sure.
after. So, Sid Krofft was the puppeteer for Freddie the Flute. So when you see Freddie talking, that's Sid.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Now, is that his voice too?
No, that is not Sid's voice, just the
Oh.
puppeteering.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I've heard Sid speak.
Jimmy, please, Dr. Blanky's gonna...
I was lucky enough to get a Freddy the Magical Fruit as a gift from Sid and Marty.
Can you tell that story? That's probably a good detailed one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, just having worked with them a few times on Sigmund and the Sea Monsters,
Make you remember.
it was a gift.
Wow.
And my brother used to call me Jimmy when I was a kid, I think because of Pufnstuf. And
Wow.
and so then when my brother saw that I had also had the magical flute, he said, "You really are Jimmy."
Right.
Wow. Did your flute ever talk to you, or did he kind of stay silent and just sort of, communicate through ESP or something? Or
Anything can talk to you with your imagination.
that's probably the quote of the day, Puff. What do you think?
What's that there?
Anything can talk to you when you use your imagination.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. David, how did you meet Sid and Marty? Can you share that story with us?
Wow. Well, I'd always been a fan of theirs, and I think when we really started to get a little more friendly, it was when like an anniversary DVD was coming out, and we did a big a big show for it at the Television Museum in Beverly Hills, and we helped them sort of promote the fact that it was coming on.
Wow, the Paley Center, I think that's the place.
Yeah, yeah.
Senior radio and television. That's fantastic. Well, hopefully we can get you to share a couple of your adventures with both Sid and Marty during our watch party here.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I was just distracted by those people playing jump rope with my tail.
You know, would that hurt, or how was that?
No, it was just pleasant because I was hoping they were good at jump rope, because if not, they would land right on my tail, and that hurt.
We're looking for the outtake, so if we find one where they kind of jumped on your tail, we'll have to let you know.
Oh yeah, they did that once.
Oh, well,
I think that's why I was looking so nervous.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say? They say pain is temporary, but film is forever.
This is true.
Yeah.
That was about 50 years ago, so I still remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, you have a memory that is sharp as a tack, Puff.
Yeah. Well, it comes from being a politician.
These your episodes, Puff, look absolutely fantastic to everybody watching
They
out
really
here.
do.
Yeah, these were remastered off the original master tapes. And
Wow.
this is the absolute best versions and the best quality of Sid Marty Krofft programming to date. So it's just absolutely a wonderful delight to see them on the Sid Marty Krofft channel.
It
That's
sure
fantastic.
is. It looks incredible, and it's so also like fortunate that you can see all these on all these different streaming services now. It's really gonna, I don't know, make it available to the public in such a bigger way.
This was something that was one of the last things that Marty worked on, and we are so proud that the channel is up and running, and everybody could see these wonderful programs that Sid and Marty created. It's just, it
Absolutely.
really chokes me up to see how clear they look.
They look
It
beautiful.
looks great.
We should probably tell the viewers out there that this dance number called The Moment I Saw Your Face is actually sort of an homage to Jack Wilde's performance in the movie Oliver.
Yeah, sure.
Oh wow!
And Sid Krofft was friends with Lionel Bart, who produced Oliver and showed Sid an early version of Oliver. And Sid said, we gotta get him, Marty. And then, of course, Marty said, "We'll go get him, Sid." And then Sid didn't want to travel, so I understand. So Marty went over, got Jack, and brought him back to the States to work with HR Pufnstuf.
Wow.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Boy, look at Seymour's eyes. They had a sparkle to them.
Oh, it was,
So cool.
as Jack Wilde would say, it's very groovy.
Yeah.
It's
With the
right.
you do the rhoticism and everything.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Jimmy, I'm Pufnstuf.
Seymour is a great character, right, Puff? Even
Ah.
though he's on the witch's side.
Oh no, it's okay because we were actually pretty good friends.
Teamwork.
Come
Yeah,
on, Clang
yeah.
and Clang. I need you to hold the bottles.
Behind the
You'll
scenes,
have
we
to mix while I
we didn't have
pour.
much animosity. He was okay. He was all right.
Right.
Coming, Mr. Blinky,
Seymour
coming.
was played by Billy Barty, a classic vaudevillian actor
Amazing.
and
Where are you
Krofft
going,
legend.
Jimmy?
Do you remember Billy Barty, David?
Yeah, of course. I got to play in a celebrity baseball game that he was at Dodger Stadium when they used to do those.
Jimmy's running
Wow.
away.
Yeah,
What
he was
what
great.
position did Billy play? Do you remember?
No, he was just sort of there. He had a little scooter at the time. He was pretty old at the time, but he was still just so wonderful, and I got an opportunity to tell him how much I loved him.
I never got to meet Mr. Billy Barty, but I did see him crossing the street up here on Moore Park going into his business or his foundation for the little people. And we were driving by and said, "Oh my God, there's Billy Barty." So that was
Oh my God.
Wow.
But
He also had this, like, I don't know, like a skating rink or something on the way to Disneyland. He had
Wow.
this, like,
Oh,
the building's still there. It looks like an old
It's the boy.
like an old
Let's grab him and bring him
chateau
to the
or
ring.
something.
Wow.
Wow.
Did you talk to him at all about your fandom for Krofft and the fact that you knew the Krofft brothers?
I didn't know them at the time, so
Okay.
that was way back, and but I did tell him how much I love his work and the work he did on this show specifically.
Marty was very impressed with Billy Barty's work in a movie called Foul Play. If anybody remembers that one from the 70s.
Was that the one with Chevy Chase?
You know
Or
what?
is it a different one?
I think so.
Because that had the Barry Manilow theme song, which I never quite understood. It was a great, didn't Charlie Fox write that as well?
He probably did.
I think he did.
Yeah.
I do remember these trees scaring me quite a bit as a kid.
Oh yeah. They are terrifying in real life too. You're right to be scared.
They just refer to them as evil trees because if you were to go a little bit too further with character development, it might be too scary.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now, normally I would say, don't label people. It's not nice.
Yeah.
But they're evil as heck.
Okay.
So
Watch
that's
out.
real accurate.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
There she is.
There's Witchy Poo, who is the greatest witch there ever was.
She really is.
She was given that title by the great Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch in the MGM classic The Wizard of Oz.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's high praise indeed, because
Yeah.
she was terrifying. And what a great witch, Margaret Hamilton.
You could really see the influence from that Sid Krofft had on The Wizard of Oz because that was one of his favorite movies.
Oh, sure.
And you could just see how he was using his love of that film to create Your Wonderful Show.
Yeah. Well, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, the moving trees and I don't know if we ever had flying monkeys though.
Yeah, that might be a copyright thing. So you guys had to do other creative things.
Oh, you know what though? Wizard of Oz is now in the public domain. I believe. So
Oh my
okay, look out!
not the sequels, but the first book is.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, and
That's it.
not Wicked. We tried to put on a play of Wicked for a bunch of like third graders or fourth graders, and we got a cease and desist.
That's kind of an honor, I would say, in some way, maybe.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now, in third or fourth grade, do those kids have good pipes? I mean, can they belt out the tunes, or do they just kind of squeak?
Are you referring to pipes as referring to vocal
Like
pipes?
vocal cords.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were doing a documentary following this kid George around, who was a director, and he wanted to direct a play, so we were kind of filming the process.
Oh.
And George is actually the one who got the cease and desist letter, and he was very upset.
Yeah. Puffy, excuse me, but do you ever have to send out cease and desist orders ever, or is that not what your mayor duties are?
That's not what I do. As a public official, the people sort of own me. So, I mean, good taxpayers that live in Ireland pretty much get whatever I can give them.
Yep.
So I never send out cease and desist letters.
You're my favorite mayor, Pufnstuf. I'm just period.
Thank you, Rob. That's high praise indeed. I thought it surely would have been Johnny Grant, mayor of Hollywood, but okay, if I'm your favorite, so be it. Ha Woo! High three.
A mechanical boy?
Now, a fun little bit of trivia about Witchy Poo is that she went on to do many cameo appearances in other Sid and Marty shows. And one of the great ones is on a show called the Bay City Rollers Show, in a segment called Horror Hotel. And Billy Hayes didn't wear the chin because she didn't like the fact that the makeup took, a long time.
Oh.
So watch for that when you're watching the Sid and Marty Krofft channel.
Oh, interesting.
Oh wow.
Now, this is the classic H.R. Pufnstuf tune, I'm a Mechanical.
Oh, it took me so long to be able to get me to do that with my eyeballs, rotate them around like that. I practiced in the mirror for months.
Wow.
I can't do it these days.
Yeah, we're all getting a little older, but, Puffy looked great.
I learned, I'm like Steve Martin in Pennies from Heaven, learning how to tap dance and then forgetting.
Yeah.
I knew it at one point, but I can't do it now.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
Sad.
Well, my little
Mechanical boy.
Now, do you remember
Puff, you actually were one of the first people to really make white cowboy boots a thing.
Oh, thank you. You know, I got those from an aunt, and it took me a while to grow into them, but once I did, that was my uniform, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, that's very responsible because you could have gotten a smaller size shoe, but that would just be wasteful. So you just went ahead and grew into them.
I just waited.
You were responsible, Puff.
Yeah.
I
My
appreciate
mom told me all I had to do was wait, and they fit.
Yeah. Your mom is very wise.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, wow.
look at this.
Hey.
This is some real showmanship
Oh,
right
man.
there.
Oh, my gosh.
She.
Oh, by the way, those glasses are still available from a company called Fun Inc.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can get them at royalmagic.com. I'm just saying.
Good.
Wow.
Good to know.
She put those big glasses on the map. That was her thing. She owned it, and witchy poo. Very stylish.
Oh,
Now-
my gosh.
What's interesting is those glasses to me are not large. Those basically just cover my eyeballs barely.
And I've always wondered, and we were kind of chit-chatting before we started. We were talking about your ears, Puff, and that's just something that I'm not really aware of where that would be, but that's okay. And I think you were saying that you're not really too sure where they are.
No, I don't really know where my ears are. I know I have them.
Yeah.
But I haven't really located them.
Yeah, and you can hear David and I okay, so we're all
Oh,
good.
sure.
Okay.
No, I hear great.
Have you got any milk and cookies?
Dr. Blinky tested my hearing not too long ago. And it's real good.
Bring him some milk and cookies, and hurry!
Now, one thing I always wondered watching Witchy Poo is she has a half-eaten apple in her pocket, and I always was wondering if that was like a fashion statement or if it was just in case she got hungry. Do you know anything about that?
I think that's a poison apple, and she only, she deals it out in little doses because it's real poisonous.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no touching, no eating.
No, and she's put many a princess into a deep sleep with that apple, but
Wow.
she never uses the whole thing at once.
Wow. Well, when we talk about poison apples, it makes me think of a wonderful film that Walt Disney made called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah.
And there's a poison apple in that.
Sure.
And one thing that I always remember Marty Krofft sharing was when he met Walt Disney. And he gave him some advice when Krofft, Sid and Marty were doing one of their shows at the Seattle World's Fair in 1963. Walt Disney was there, and apparently the story goes, at least according to Marty, is Walt came over to say hi to Sid Charisse, who was married to Tony Martin, who's good friends with Marty, and she introduced Walt to Marty.
Ah.
And didn't he say? Did you? Are you going to tell him like what his advice was?
Yeah, I want you to tell him. You tell him.
Well, yeah, he said, always put your name ahead of the title, and that's why it became Sid and Marty Krofft's Pufnstuf or Land of the Lost, all of that.
How awesome is that? Sid and Marty Krofft present and all their other great shows, and just like it always says, Walt Disney, and that's just amazing.
I considered for a time, because I was friends with Marty, I considered calling it H.R. Pufnstuf's Living Island. But then I thought, nah, what if I don't get reelected? That'd just be embarrassing.
Very logical, Puff.
Yeah. Now, irony is, everybody elects me every year for the last 60, almost 70 years now. So it's been a while. I should have done it. But I guess I'm glad I didn't.
Well, it's like the Pufnstuf dynasty, which I just think is fantastic. So, keep going.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I plan to.
Yeah.
As long as they'll have me.
Whoa. There's some special effects there that coming out of Witchy Poo's wand.
I loved all the explosions in this show.
Yeah. Was there anybody ever injured from the wand that you know of, Puff, or what do you know about that?
Well, I mean, yeah. It does some damage.
Yeah.
But it was pretty benign. Everybody got over it.
Making movies
Nothing
is
was
serious. Safety first, but things happen.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
here we are, the iconic In theme song sung by the Boys.
I'm gonna
There we
let
go.
my dog out real quick. Sorry.
Okay, David, we're here for you.
Oh, you let the dog out. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, there it goes.
Look at all those great
Look
characters.
at that singing duckling. That's so much fun.
Oh my goodness.
The Boys. They were real good.
This theme song just makes me want to watch another episode.
Oh, me too. Well, now, we're not going to watch another episode of my show, though, are we?
You know, we're not going to do that because we thought we might watch an episode from another Sid Marty Krofft show called Land of the Lost. Have you
Oh,
ever heard of that show?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Why do you-
Fantastic.
Why is that one of your favorites?
Well, because I love the river they travel down at the beginning of the show. It's full of suds. I never knew why. It was,
Wow.
but that was
Oh
kind
my
of cool.
gosh.
And
That was
and
so wonderful.
yeah, and I love the It's got dinosaurs and sleigh stacks, family. It's got everything. Rob, you can't get a show that's more complete than that.
Well, I totally agree with you. So, David, somebody was telling me over there that there's a phone call for Pufnstuf.
What?
Can you take?
Wow.
You want to take
Oh.
the call real quick
Oh,
and
you
come
know
back
what?
when you can? Or?
Yeah, that's probably an official government
Okay.
business. So I better take that. But yeah, I will see you soon, my friend.
Okay. Thank you, Puff.
Yeah.
Great to see you.
Hey, great to
Thank
see
you
you, David.
so much.
All
Bye.
right. I'll be around. I just got to take this call. I'll be
All
back.
right, pal.
All righty. See ya.
You know, David, this might be a good time for you to bring out our special guest and a friend of yours and a colleague, and I'll let you go ahead and do the introduction.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to invite to this Saturday morning fun Jozo Bozo, the first female Bozo the Clown.
Hi, Jozo.
Hi.
Have a hug.
Yes, of
Oh,
course.
It's so great to see
Do me a
you.
favor, hold
Oh,
that
of
for
course.
me.
Oh, whoa.
Buddy?
Wow. Do I just let it go?
Yeah, it's kind of cold in here. My feet
It
are
is.
tattered.
Yes. You know, we get cold in
Hey.
California.
Hi. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Bozo!
How you doing, Bozo?
My good pal Bozo.
Oh,
my
it's so
goodness.
great to see you.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a great morning here at Krofft.
Oh my God, it's always a great morning here at
Yeah.
Krofft. I was told that you both are participating in something very, very special that's
Yeah.
happening on Sunday. You guys want to tell everybody about it?
Tomorrow we're going
Yeah.
to be a part of the really exciting Bob Baker Day.
Classic.
Yes.
Yes.
Bob Baker Day. It's in Los Angeles. It's at the Los Angeles Historic Park, I think
Yeah, the
it's called.
state park.
Yeah, and it's
Ye-
really just such a brilliant event. There's like 30,000 people come out. You have to go to the Bob Baker website and you can just RSVP. It doesn't cost anything, but you have to just RSVP. And we're going to be teaching people a dance with our friend Meadow Dances, a really wonderful charity. And yeah, we have a professional choreographer as well. Jesse's going to be there, and Jozo and Nunu
And Sid's going to be there. Sid
and
is the
Sid.
Grand Marshal.
He
I mean,
sure is.
I've heard that, and what an honor. And he is he's the Grand Marshal, and his title is the Grandfather of Puppetry.
Yeah. Wow.
Now, David, you're going to be there, and Bozo's going to be there too?
Yeah.
Oh
Bozo
my
will be
God.
there.
yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
hope that I could RSVP because I sure would love to go.
You
And
haven't already?
and we've been working so hard
Yeah.
on this live stream. You know, we're now just coming up for air, but as soon as we're done, I'm going to see if I could RSVP because just like David and Jozo, you said, it's a free event. All you got to do is RSVP.
RSVP.
It's really wonderful. They have artists from all over the world in Los Angeles that all go there and they sell their artistic goods. And Tierra del Sol, I think it is this really wonderful art charity that's going to be right by us that teach art to kids. Yeah, so it's just this wonderful community, and it's going to be so much fun. We're going to teach a dance to the kids there to a song called Rainbow Time. It's rainbow
Rainbow
time.
time.
Wow.
Time to shine, it's rainbow time.
Did Charlie Fox write that song, or was that where did that come from?
It
Do
was
you guys know?
inspired by Charlie Fox. but
Okay.
no,
That's a Bozo exclusive.
Pretty much, you could kind of say, like, if you don't know the composer as a joke, you could say, well, Charlie Fox wrote that
Charlie
because he
Fox
kind of
wrote
wrote
it. Yeah, he
everything.
wrote everything.
it's actually Graham Wheeler. He's Chippy, the clown court conductor, and he
Yeah,
is
that's
really,
fantastic.
yeah, he's really wonderful. His catchphrase is "Whee!"
Wow. I wish that was my catchphrase.
Whee!
Yeah,
It
that's
can
pretty
be.
good.
It can.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah, that's what we should do every time we come into the Krofft
I'm
office.
down
is
for it.
whee!
I'm
Yeah,
down for
so
it.
maybe we
Yeah.
can make that a tradition. You know?
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun. There's a whole Bozo album that we have that Jozo's on and Bozo's on and Nunu and Chippy and Poncho, who's another wonderful clown, and Hiccups, who's America's Los Angeles clown specifically, who just got awarded the presidential
He
charity
did?
medal of honor. Yeah, he's he
Wow.
does a Hiccups pizza party
Wow.
in downtown Los Angeles like every few months, and he works with Ronald McDonald House. There's no competition. All good clowns are welcome.
Yeah, you just mentioned McDonald's. They have a big history with Sid Marty Krofft, but maybe we'll save that for another one of our
Yeah.
live streams.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
whole
we're
big,
all about there's enough division now. We all
Yeah.
want people to come together.
the unity.
So
Come together.
There's a theory, of a school of fish or a flock of birds that if 10% swerve, the other 90 will follow.
Wow.
And I believe that 10% have kind of swerved into this scary clown world or this sort of dark kind of negative aspect. So we just need 10% of the people to swerve back to the
Back, yeah.
light, the kindness, the
follow.
love and laughter, because Bozo has a theory. And Bozo's theory is he realized something. He's Bozo, the world's most famous clown.
Yes.
But he realized, wait, it's not about me, Bozo. It's about all of us Bozos. It's about the Bozo in our heart.
Clown in us.
I'm a
Yeah.
bozo.
Yeah.
Yes,
admit it.
we're all Bozos.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's about letting that clown out and making the world a better place, a lighter place, a happier place, a sillier place for everyone. So everybody let your clown out. And Bozo also realized in Bozo land, we don't look up at people and think they're so great. And we certainly don't look down on people and think we're better than them. We look everyone right in the eye and we know that you're the greatest in your world and we're the greatest in ours. And if we treat each other that way, we're going to have a really great world. So everyone has to just readjust like a school of fish, swerve to the
back.
sweetness, and let's make kindness
Swerve into
a
the
real
sweetness.
commodity.
I love that.
That
Swerve
is
into the sweetness.
absolutely beautiful, David. And I could see just by that information you just told us why Sid and Marty love you so much.
They're my favorite. I love them so much. We miss Marty so much.
Yeah.
I do believe, like, when we lose people, they just sort of move on to a different room. This is just one sort of level of existence. So I feel that they're still around us quite a bit, and they can speak to us in music and in animals and in nature. So it's really important to keep those people close to your hearts. We also recently lost Paul Rubens, who was a really sweet friend of mine as well, Pee Wee Herman.
Yep.
So all of these incredible creatives who've inspired all of us, just up to us to keep their inspiration alive and just make the world a happier place.
Happier place.
Well,
yeah.
let's all do that together with all the wonderful things that you guys are doing and all the wonderful things we're trying to do at Sid Marty Krofft Pictures. So, but we should remind everybody how wonderful the next show is that we're going to watch. We're going to watch one of the great Land of the Lost episodes. Wow. And before we start, we have a surprise guest that would like to say a few things. Ooh. And I don't think that I need to give him any introduction because I think that he can do it himself. So let's take a look.
Oh, wow.
Hey, everybody. I'm Wesley Eure. I played Will Marshall on Land of the Lost, and I'm joined by my pal, Enoch, the talking sleestack. And this is my entire performance on Land of the Lost. Run, Holly, run! There's a dinosaur! Now, Enoch was played by Walker Edmondson. And Walker, he was an amazing actor. He was the voice and the actor in the Enoch costume. But he was also the voice of Sigmund the Sea Monster. And people always ask me, well, did you guys ever get out of the Land of the Lost? Well, the episode called The Circle kind of answers that question. It's my favorite episode, and it was written to be the last episode of the first season, just in case there wasn't going to be a second season. And of course, it was written by the amazing science fiction writer David Gerrold, who wrote Trouble with Tribbles for Star Trek, and Larry Niven. And what I love about this episode is it deals with some very high concept sci-fi themes like doppelgangers and dual universes. So take a watch and see what you think. And if you like this episode, if you want to watch more Land of the Lost or any of the Krofft shows, just click on the link in the description and you can see the entire catalog of Cineverse. And oh my God. Run, Holly, run! There's a slee stack!
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Okay, look out. To tell you the truth, they're actually paid to not harm any of us.
Great.
So
Just
they won't
checking,
harm
just
us.
checking.
Actually, they're in hibernation mode. But you never know what
They're
could
in
happen.
sleep setting.
We are live, anything can happen on a live stream.
Yeah.
Wesley Eure is a Krofft alumni, and just like you, David, are a Krofft alumni, but we'll save that
so
story
cool.
for our next show.
Okay.
So should we just jump right
Let's
into this
watch.
episode
I'm
of Land of the
excited.
Lost?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
All right, let's do this. Ooh, did you make any? No, you can't do that. You gotta stay there.
Wow. Oh, it all looks so beautiful.
This is pretty amazing for 1974.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Now, it's pretty well known, but I have to tell the viewers out there, in case they don't know, it's Krofft's creation, the waterfall. He was absolutely, really serious about using the waterfall. That's what he wanted. They tried to do it a different way that might have been cheaper, but Sid stayed true to his vision, and he did it the way that he was inspired to do it. Stay true to your creativity. Sid Krofft.
Wow.
Legend.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Now, what we're looking at here is we're looking at a stop motion dinosaur puppet that was shot on film and married with video, which is how they shot the live action actors. And that was groundbreaking to merge those two mediums. And Sid and Marty did it first, and it gives me goosebumps every time you think about that.
Wow.
And that's the grumpy hand puppet, which is about this big.
Wow. That is so remarkable.
So just as Wesley pointed out, David Gerrold was the one that wrote the Star Trek episode of Trouble with Tribbles, which is one of those little furry puffballs.
Yeah.
It was one of the more lighthearted episodes of the series. And at the time, people talked about how maybe it was not as serious as they wanted their Star Trek and sci-fi, but it's actually turned out to be one of the most famous episodes because it has a great lighthearted tone. Just like you and Bozo.
Yeah.
Water doesn't look that clean, does it?
I should probably save this for Wesley to talk about in the future, but I was told that the water didn't smell too good either. So, what are you gonna do? Got it. What are you gonna do?
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Don't drink the water.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, I think my 6-year-old brain exploded at this point when they came up in the cave. David, why don't you tell everybody about how you got into Sid Marty Krofft and the age of when you started watching Krofft and becoming aware of it? I think you mentioned to me it was the Krofft Superstars syndicated show, correct?
Well, I remember being able to watch Land of the Lost. That was on its own, and there was something else that was on its own. But Krofft Superstars, when it came on, it was sort of this collection of all of their different shows, and you never knew which episode was going to air. And when it came on, it was a surprise, and you'd see all these different things. like Lidsville and Land of the Lost and HR Pufnstuf and all these different worlds. And what's the buggy show? There was like not the Bugaloos. The Bugaloos, they had that as well, but there was like a little dirt buggy.
Wonderbug.
Wonderbug.
A wonderful Wonderbug.
Yes.
Well, this might be a good time to kind of show everybody out there. So this is the Krofft Superstars logo. This is a T-shirt that we actually have made for all the fans of the Krofft Superstars. So if you're interested in wearing your Krofft and showing your pride, you can get one, absolutely.
Where do I get one?
Well, you know us here at Krofft. Yeah, you know Deanna, you know everybody. So we'll hook you up. And David, same goes for you. But the great thing that, as David was pointing out, is if you would look in the TV guide, it wouldn't say, today Monday HR Pufnstuf. It would merely just say Krofft Superstars, and it was like the roulette wheel. You didn't know what episode you were going to get. Yeah, mind blowing.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nobody can claim that kind of creativity in syndication except for Sid Marty Krofft.
Are they dead?
I'll share a little funny fact from a film that I did called
Scary, right?
Eight-Legged Freaks.
Stay that way.
I did a film called Eight-Legged Freaks about giant spiders.
You might not want to.
When the weather gets warmer. Come on, let's get back to
And
the
they had
cave. These
spider
tunnels are
webs
probably
like
loaded with
this,
flea stack,
and
we
they
don't wanna
made
get
the
trapped down
spider
here.
webs
Okay,
with
right behind you.
a hot glue gun and a blow dryer.
Whoa.
So if you're ever looking to make spider
We're
webs,
giving away the secrets here.
Yes.
But that's okay. Yeah, you have to spread the love and the rumor. And yeah. We can. You can. Look at that. The Sleestack suits were created by Michael Westmore, who won the Academy Award for the movie The Mask, which starred Cher, and then he also went on to do wonderful things with all the alien makeups on Star Trek The Next Generation. So Star Trek lineage is so
cool.
Yeah.
I just remember the Sleestack scaring me so much as a kid.
Yeah. The sound was scary. The fact that they moved slow. Yeah.
I think they led to the theory that there's lizard people in the world.
Yeah. Art imitates life, perhaps.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh boy.
Look at that.
Oh boy.
Boy, that couldn't
my
have been
God.
good for the Sleestack. So
No.
the archivist
Oh
in
my
me
God.
is kind of like shuddering at this point. But you know what? They had a job to do. They had to shoot the episode. He had to get in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't imagine how much they already weighed, and then with the water weight.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
Whoa. Now, one thing that's kind of fun to point out is that this is the first season of Land of the Lost.
Mm-hmm.
There was a second season, and the Sleestacks were actually painted a day glow green. And then for the third season, they repainted the suits to a more sort of dark olive green. It looks a little bit more like a movie called The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So that's always tell people they're in the third season paint scheme at this time.
Wow. I also remember some scene, and it's just like a little kid memory in my head, but there were crystals or something.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, the crystals play a big part of Land of the Lost. And right now I'm trying to figure out what crystals do what and what combinations do things. All from one episode is he said the blue ones make you sick.
Oh,
okay. So Jozo and David, don't touch the blue crystal.
I like the iridescent ones.
It's amazing.
That, like the rainbow.
Right. There's a lot of rainbows in the world of Krofft.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so great too that they can do something like this, and they're essentially using dinosaurs.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's making it's scary for kids, but it's not like typical stuff today where it's there's other things that they're making scary. And I just think it's so smart of them to use that because it's something that's interesting and educational in a way, but I don't know. And also they can tap into those little elements of fear. It's a lot like Disney. Like Disney always has this slight element of fear to get it all going.
I totally agree with you, David. It's very similar. Now the Sleestacks,
Yeah.
I think they're just probably the best monster villain on history of television, and that's just my opinion. I mean, it's just perfection. Ooh,
Love
there's
Enoch.
Enoch, and
Love
yeah,
Enoch.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're always angry. Hey, Enoch, we thought you'd be gone by now.
Perfect timing for the save.
Oh my God, yes.
Come, I will show you why.
So here's a little bit of fun trivia about.
Oh, here we
Enoch.
go.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to use the crystals. Whoa. You know, when you hear that drum going, that means they're big, heavy dinosaurs.
Pounding
Yeah,
on the way.
yeah. She jumped
She
in the
has
water
to
again.
keep getting in that water.
Yeah. It was a rough day for Kathy
Poor
Coleman.
Han,
Yeah.
jeez.
So just a little Enoch trivia. He wears that tunic not because they wanted him to have on a groovy sparkle tunic.
I was going to say such a good orange for him.
It's
I mean,
really,
that's really his color.
it brings his eyes out, you know. But what they did was apparently Walker Edmonston couldn't move in the suit, so they had to cut slashes into the stomach area of the sleeve stack, and in order to cover up the cuts, they had to put a tunic on him. I mean,
tunic for the win.
happy accident that
Yeah.
just worked out wonderful.
When in
Tunic
doubt,
for the
when
win.
you've got slashes on your stomach, just throw in a tunic. I mean,
100%. Yeah.
I cannot leave the staging area. It is as if the law of conservation of temporal momentum has been reversed. I cannot go home.
Yeah.
Although there is considerable temporal pressure for me.
Enoch's very smart.
I'm sorry you do not understand ultra-dimensional matrices.
I don't understand either.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
But we're going to trust that he knows what he's talking about.
I've
Yeah.
got good trust in Enoch.
Okay.
An object of equal mass and temporal energy.
Well, that means that we can't leave here either, doesn't it?
Oh boy.
Unless three
No,
other people.
I don't know about you, but that necklace that Wesley's rocking there, that's pretty cool, right?
I like
That's
it.
pretty
I
cool.
like it. I was
mean,
going to make a comment on it too.
It's an
Good
odd
on him.
choice because at the time it may have been a puka shell necklace, but he went to the gold
He went
necklace.
to the gold.
Yeah. He might have been a little ahead of his time, I would say, Wesley.
I'd say so.
Okay. Something's happening here.
This is cool. This is cool.
It's Earth. Enoch, if I had a parachute right now, I could jump through.
Wait, there is more.
That's us, before we fell in here.
Pay attention now.
Yeah.
This is the puzzling part.
We better pay attention too. This is
That's
just
the
like
rapids we were on.
wow.
Enoch, where's the mist for the doorway?
I do not know.
Now, I always
When
wondered.
Enoch doesn't know.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't know, you might be in some real trouble. Is the bracelet Enoch has on, you think, a fashion statement, or do you think it might have some sort of a power and help
There's
Enoch with
definitely
it?
purpose to that bracelet.
Yeah, I don't know
For
if we ever
sure.
found that out, but maybe someday we will.
How can that be?
That brooch too, or the necklace.
The
is
necklace,
Yeah, yeah.
Too much.
Will be revealed.
I do remember, I think Will takes it from him at some point, and Enoch did not like it. He kind of flipped out a little bit on the Marshall thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Don't want to see
Yeah,
an Enoch flip out.
Enoch's very kind, but
Yeah.
you don't push his buttons, you know?
Be removed
Always an opposite.
somehow.
Yeah, yeah. You can't take the kindness for weakness, you know?
Right. Yeah.
No.
David, did you have a favorite episode of Land of the Lost that you can recall, or do you just love the whole series as a whole, or what do you think?
I love the series as a whole, but I can't really, like, all of my memories are pretty much from maybe when I resaw them when the DVD came out, but mostly from when I was a kid. So I just have these little, like, memories and flashes. Like, this is bringing a lot back to me.
Yeah, wow.
I've been scared half to death this whole
You
episode.
know, Land of the Lost, it's serious. I mean, those kids went through a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Now, of course, Rick was played by, the dad was played by Spencer Milligan. And I think he has an accent, I've been told. Yeah, he does.
Wee bit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Just a
so
wee
it
bit.
is, yeah.
That's a good girl.
Wee bit of an accent.
He's doing a pretty good American West Coast kind
Yeah.
of thing, yeah.
Took me all this time just to find my way back.
But I wanted to help. I was afraid something might have happened to you or Will.
I love those
Hey, Dad,
babies.
where is Will?
I think there's something interesting about the casting too. It's almost like they look like they could be in the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
first of all, that belt was probably borrowed from Mike looking at Bobby Brady's wardrobe, because that belt buckle's pretty big. And I'll tell you something, you would not want to play a valuable guitar with that belt buckle, because you'd scratch the heck out of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Brady Bunch, Partridge Family.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, I just remembered fire was a big deterrent to slee stacks.
Yeah. Always have fire ready to get rid of the problematic slee stacks.
Keep it
Yeah.
torching,
It'll give us a little protection.
Exactly.
Slee stack don't like fire that much.
See, they don't like it.
Okay, let's be careful. Come on.
They don't like it poked in their noses. Fire.
No, yeah, I mean, I don't really either.
Not a lot of
but-
people do, as I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the trauma they must be going through seeing the waterfall incident
Watching
over and over again.
continuously that fall.
Yeah, it's a stressful thing. Now, is it just me, or did Wesley's shirt get another button open? I don't know. I just was noticing that it,
I'm okay with it,
Yeah, okay.
but I'm not quite sure.
Well, I am too. I just was kind of, did he kind of,
Neither event happened.
I mean, he was a teen
The
heartthrob.
mist of the time
Wesley.
doorway did not
Yeah.
draw you into the vortex.
He's got a real Sean
The raft
Cassidy
fell
feel
only
to him.
partway
Yes.
down the
Very,
fall.
Yes.
You seem to
Yeah.
have fallen into space.
Oh, magical show.
Then how did we get here?
As I said, you should not be here. Your presence here is disrupting the balance of the doorways. I must correct that imbalance, or I cannot go home.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah,
trying.
I mean, he wants to go home too.
I also remember the fact that the mom, I always thought.
Whoa. Okay, that was a good
worry
one there.
about that. Oh yeah, good scare.
Wait, what were you saying about the mom?
Just I'm not sure. Are they separated from the mom? Is the mom in the real world?
Yeah,
I just remember something about really oh gosh, so sad
Yeah.
that they don't have their mom.
Yeah. Look at that. There's some smoke.
It's okay,
You know,
Dad. The slee stack can't get through the invisible
smoke
barrier.
plays a big part in Krofft shows, especially on Land of the Lost.
Thank God for that barrier.
Totally. I mean, he's working with the Marshall family to help them.
Perhaps you can help me with a small problem.
Well, I presume you wouldn't be still
It
here
would be
if you
good
didn't
if they
have a
came
problem.
up with some of those things
Well,
now.
that's a pretty handy gadget you have.
Yeah.
The invisible shield.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm okay.
That's pretty handy. I would like an invisible shield.
I
mean,
know,
to use for
it'd be
things.
great. Everyone could put an
Yeah, we
invisible
would use it
shield
for
Stay
around
back.
their
We
house.
use it for good.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct.
We've already fallen through the time doorway.
I'm tired of this, Dad.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
fall through the doorway.
As long as these steps are shut out,
If we didn't fall through the
he's
time
over.
doorway, then
He's
why
done.
are we here?
I'm supposed to jump in that water
I've fallen
again.
through the time door a
See?
few
There's no
times,
mystery.
and yeah,
You've
it's
what?
something you should.
It's like-
I've
it's like
fallen
we've
through the
fallen
time
to
door a
nothing.
few times.
Why does
Oh.
everyone keep playing
You
us
should
going
really
over the
watch.
falls again and again?
Is that something that gives you a headache after the fact, or what's the after effects?
Definitely, definitely.
I
There's
cannot use it for anything in that present condition.
something
Okay.
to avoid. Let's
Yeah.
just say.
Okay.
If it weren't over a raging river,
I would agree. Avoid that time doorway thing. Yeah.
is there any reason why we couldn't throw a rope through there and moor it off onto one of the rocks?
Then it might be
Then
worth
it's
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I'm noticing here is that I'm really impressed with how clean Rick Marshall's kind of fatigue outfit is, because
In actuality,
you think that he wouldn't be worried about it
Yeah.
because he's got other problems like dinosaurs and slee stacks, but he is into having clean change of
Fit
clothes.
fresh.
You are
I mean,
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
are there. Both at the same
It was also
time.
obviously belts on the outside with your shirt tucked in. That was a very 70s thing.
popular thing
Yeah,
at the time. Yeah. Oh yeah, I like my
I
belt.
have a
Yeah.
tentative
Well, you got a
solution.
nice one.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
just thinking,
Prevent you
I mean, I don't
from
want to
being
break the illusion,
transported
but
here.
the actor
Then
in
all
this
will be
costume,
normal
I
again.
wonder what he's
The
seeing.
Brownies will be killed.
Yeah.
You have a fine
That's a
glass
good
Just
one.
of
red
beer.
glow.
Yeah, if they're upside down and small, you know what I mean?
Kaleidoscope eye.
It was probably a very groovy experience for Walker Edmiston.
Yeah.
I know that he was doing the dialogue live.
Oh,
So
wow.
and that was another brilliant thing that Sid and Marty used to not have to do looping or stuff later
Yeah.
later on afterwards.
Yeah,
That was
that's
real.
so amazing. I've
We're
had the
here
opportunity to work with the Muppets a couple times. And that whole experience, whenever you work with these incredible
Can you tell us how
puppeteers,
we
like
got
all
here?
of the Krofft puppeteers,
No, I cannot.
it's so brilliant to watch
Can you help
them
us to get
and
back?
just, it's one of my favorite experiences as an
I
actor.
accept.
Just
And
watching, a lot of the
mass
time they'll have a
must
monitor
linger here for you to
and they'll
leave.
have a mic
3
attached
people.
to them,
3 people?
but they're
Yes,
playing along
3.
and they're you know,
What about those
puppeteering
people?
in real time. It's just so brilliant.
Do you remember what
Enter,
Muppets
then
you
we
worked
can
with,
leave.
David?
The time
Yeah, I
will
worked
no
with
longer be locked on
Kermit
that
quite a
scene, and you
bit. I
can
had
leave
a
too.
very merry Muppet Christmas, and I got to work with
save you.
Kermit quite a
But
bit.
it would be
I got to
wrong.
work with Rizzo,
awesome.
the rat,
It is
Oh,
against
yes.
us to tamper
Yeah.
with the lives
and
of others.
Pepe the
Is
Prawn.
it
I
against
mean,
the
some
Yes.
of my
to provide the
favorites.
information?
Bill Beretta, right?
No, it is
Yeah,
not.
Bill
Yeah.
Beretta, such
Can
a
you tell me
wonderful
how it is
person,
done?
incredible
Great guy.
puppeteer.
I think that it would be kind of fun to remind everybody that a lot of the Hinson alumni
Place it
actually
on the
do a lot of stuff with Krofft.
Yeah.
Drew Massey is somebody that works with
Yes.
Muppets and Krofft.
Drew
and,
is just brilliant.
yeah. All the Muppet people are, and so are all the Krofft puppeteers. It's just
Yeah,
a pretty great group that was put together by
it
Sid and
sure
Marty.
is. The best, like, artists and just human beings. Like,
So
all of them are just
talented,
so kind.
yeah.
I believe you have resolved the
You know, I was telling you guys about the
Will your daughter
T-shirt
work all
that
right
you could
now?
buy on our store, and I
Yeah.
remember when we were putting that together, and I'll do my Marty Krofft. He was like, "It's got to be good quality," and it was really cool that that was the first thing,
Yeah.
and then you know, of course, the design had to be cool, but
Can
that
we
really
go through
impressed me, and that's exactly
not
how Walt Disney
understand.
was. It's
Yeah.
like quality
You must
first.
go
Yeah.
through
Well,
Yeah.
your Marty
resolution
impression
of the
did not
paragraph.
include any cursing.
Yeah. And that's of course something maybe for another talk, but I'll try to keep it clean for the kids.
Marty loves the bad
On the
words.
waterfall.
Yeah.
They are suspended
Well, you know, he was a
between
mogul.
two
I mean, he had to
worlds
just,
until you
make
go
it
through
point.
the doorway.
He's
You
so
must go
hilarious.
home.
We
You
have
have to
a
tell us
Bozo
twice.
the Clown
Come on, Will.
documentary
Come
coming
on.
out.
I think it
and
was a Star Trek line where they said nobody pays any attention to you unless you swear every other word in the
Yeah.
21st,
Yeah,
20th
then you're- I
century.
mean,
No.
It's kind of true.
It's
then
true.
You're really focused.
But we
get
have
home,
a
too.
we have a
We know you
Bozo
have
the
a
Clown
mission to save your
documentary,
people.
and Marty's has
Well, you
a
know
part
what?
in it. We go back to visit him at the
Farewell,
Krofft
my
office
friend.
Oh my gosh.
with Jozo.
Can you guys tell us when that's going to be any more about it and maybe the title or any more info on that project?
Yeah, the title
Good luck.
we're working off of is called Send in the
We are not
Bozos.
very expressive.
Because during a circus, if something's going wrong, they'll send out the clowns, send in the clowns. And they'll distract or they'll entertain until they can sort of get the circus back in order. So the idea behind Send in the Bozos is that we're sending in the Bozos at a time in our circus of a world where we need a little distraction and redirection.
We're here
Wow.
for you.
Yeah. You know, I was so fortunate that I was those show growing up, and I couldn't. I'm so excited, and it sounds like Bozo's in great hands with you, and with you, David, and of course, I hope someday to get to meet Bozo. Maybe I'll go tomorrow and
you
say
should
hi to
come.
everybody.
You've got to get
Yeah,
your
it would be
RSVP and
so
you can
Yeah,
be there.
RSVP.
You know, Marty is instrumental in me meeting Jessica Harrison, who's instrumental in the development of Jozo and Bozo.
She's a big part of your organization.
She sure is.
Jessica. Yeah.
Yes, she worked at with Sid Marty Krofft and at the offices there, and
I guess we're safe for a while.
Marty had discovered her at Art's Deli, working, and Marty always had such a keen eye for talent and for really wonderful people, and he offered her a job to work, and then I had met her on filming of Sigmund and the Sea Monsters.
Wow.
Now,
Now,
where we are, how to get
that
back
was
home.
something that we were going to
Dad, we don't even know
go
where
into
home
a
is.
real deep dive and talk about you being a iconic
We'll
Krofft
get
character
back
in the
home,
new
Will.
Sigmund. But
Wonderful.
maybe we'll save that for our Sigmund episode
Take us a
because
little
that's something I want everybody to hear.
We'll get back.
So,
Sure.
yeah, I mean, that was a great series. One of the best sort of reboots I think ever done.
Wow. They were just such great storytellers, too. I mean, to pack all that storytelling into this
The cycle is
22
now complete.
minutes or whatever
I
it
can
is,
go home to my time.
just brilliant.
Galactic, my friends.
Galactic.
Yeah.
Wow.
We might have to say that when we sign up. Oh, here's the end theme song sung by Wesley. Listen to him rocking this song written by Michael Lloyd. He's the composer that worked with the Osmonds, and he worked on that wonderful film called Dirty Dancing.
Wow.
Brilliant musical talent.
Yeah.
Another one that Marty just, recruited for Krofft.
It's like he was a magnet for talent.
Totally. Sid was great too.
Yeah.
Finding Jack Wilder, he did nothing else for the talent. That was enough. And look at that iconic logo.
Oh, the best.
That's considered one of the strongest Land of the Lost, but I think they're all wonderful. Pufnstuf,
Yeah.
Are you ready to come? Are you done with the phone call?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm finished. It was
I feel like I should stand for the mayor.
We should probably
Hi,
Yeah.
Jozo.
Yeah, be respectful.
Wow.
Jozo, it's great to
It's
see
an
you.
honor to
Oh.
meet you.
Look at you.
Wow.
Oh, you're just all gussied up and sparkly.
Somebody should get a
You look
photo
great.
of this meeting here. This is
Yeah.
great.
I feel
Absolutely.
like that somebody should be you.
Well, I don't
Yes,
have my
yeah.
phone
Yeah,
because I'm
yeah.
just, I'm unprepared.
In
but,
another world.
yeah,
it's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna sit down
Yeah,
here.
come
Let me.
have a seat.
How about this?
Hold
We'll
on a
take a
second.
photo with our mind.
Photographic
Okay,
memory.
okay, yes.
There we go.
One of the ideas with Jozo being so sparkly is that we reflect light, and that's what the
Yes.
whole goal is.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm a reflection of everyone around me.
I've been
You know?
feeding off of your
Yeah.
energy and Pufnstuf's energy this whole time. And David, next time maybe you can do this with us here.
I'd love that.
You are so dedicated. You're in Nashville right now, and I hear that you're flying out for the Bob Baker event tomorrow. And that's just that's like whirlwind excitement for you.
Yeah, I had to fly back for my kids' performance today of
Wow.
Mary Poppins, and then I'll be on a plane back. Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah, it's been
Excuse me.
a lot, but it's been a lot of fun.
Mary Poppins
Now-
in that endless bag.
Bless you.
Well, the carpet bag. I can tell a story about that for another time, but yeah, because I actually was able to find the carpet bag for the Walt Disney Company, but that's a whole other story.
Really?
Yeah, but
Wow.
I'll tease that. Now, Puff,
Yeah.
you're here, and we just watched an episode of Land of the Lost, and I'm told we have another special video from a Krofft alumnus.
Oh, fantastic.
And we're going to take a look and hear what this Krofft legend has to say.
Yay.
Okay.
Hi, this is Kathy Coleman, Holly Marshall from Land of the Lost. I'm here today with my little buddy Dopey, my pet dinosaur.
Oh my God.
And say hi, Dopey. Hi there. Quack, quack. Anyway, we're over here at Wesley's house and Will Marshall, and we just all watched the episode Circle. And boy, did it ever bring back some really great memories. We had a really funny one, actually, when we were shooting the scene at the lagoon. Spencer, Rick Marshall, had the makeup man paint a slot machine on his chest with like a cherry, a lemon, and a lime on it, on the board of the slot machine. And when we were filming, he was going to whip off his shirt and then dive to get the whole crew and cast all to laugh. And then we were going to dive into the pool. Well, anyway, we didn't know it, but Marty Krofft was in the control room that day.
Oh my
And
gosh.
oh my God, he came screaming out. He had the NBC executives with him, and we all got in so much trouble because we were wasting money. But anyways, it was fun, and we used to clown around like that all the time on the set.
Hey!
Because we were a family,
Yeah.
and that's what families do, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, back to families and traditions. Enoch taught me one. I gave him a kiss on the cheek, and he shared with me, which we do believe was the first time this word was ever used on the show. But to you, safe travels, be well, and galactic.
Galactic.
Hectic.
That's like Land of the Lost's Live Long and Prosper. And then you grow up and you go, oh my gosh, of course it was, because the Star Trek writers worked on Land of the Lost. You know, how awesome
That's
is
the
that?
coolest.
Yeah,
That's the
and you know what?
coolest.
And to Marty's defense, I mean, somebody's got to be the taskmaster.
Someone's
You know,
gotta be paying
Yeah,
attention
yeah,
to how
yeah.
much money
Yeah.
you're
yeah,
spending.
you know, time is money in show business.
Money.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
To a clown.
To Marty, especially.
Yeah.
So now, if you guys are up for it, we're gonna take a look at a great Sigmund and the Sea Monsters episode called The Wild Weekend. This is the one that actually is guest appearance by Jack Wild. And Marty told me the reason why Jack did it is because they brought Jack over from England, because he was English, to be in a wonderful Krofft show called Sid Marty Krofft at the Hollywood Bowl. So of course, Marty had said like, well, we might as well get Jack to do a Sigmund episode. So because kill two birds with one stone, put him on the stage, put him in the current show that they were producing.
You know how to stretch a dollar, that Marty Krofft.
He sure did.
Yeah. He was a brilliant businessman. David, now how do you feel about Sigmund and the Sea Monsters? Because you were in the new Sigmund.
The new one.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it. I love the experience. It was so wonderful to work with them. And I don't know, just to be part of something that I loved so much as a child was really just a dream come true.
I wonder how Sigmund's doing these days.
I haven't seen him in a while.
I don't know.
I threw him a bottle, letter in a bottle the other day, but I haven't heard back.
Yeah. He might have trouble writing because he's got like, what are they, like tentacles?
Yeah.
I don't know if he
no, he's super dexterous. I know, he writes real well. He draws cartoons.
Well, you would know, you've been friends for years.
Yeah. Oh, Sigmund and I go way back.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I'm really happy that I'm an only child because Sigmund has such trouble with his brothers to this day. They
just the worst.
They really torment him. And I guess they're kind of frenemies at this point. But
agreed.
Good
Frenemies.
way to say it.
Here's the words of today: frenemies and ganactic.
Ganactic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and you have to do that. Okay,
yeah.
Of course, ganactic.
Ganactic. Frenemies.
Yes. Yeah. Are you allowed to quote lines from non-Pufnstuf
other shows?
Yeah.
Well, I assume so. I do it all the time.
I'm not criticizing. I'm just curious.
Oh no! Sometimes when I answer the phone, I say "hello."
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't. That's Sigmund's thing, but
yeah. Marty used to say that when I'd ask him questions about like historic stuff with Krofft, and he would kind of entertain it for a few minutes, and then after a while he'd go, you got to get with the now, and then he would cut off the history lessons. So because Marty and Sid, they're all about now things.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Osmonds were about now things too. If you remember them.
Yeah.
They're kind of they were in a lot of the Krofft theme songs.
I think purple socks are going to be back in. That was Donnie's thing. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
He would always have the purple socks.
Purple. Yeah.
Purple's my favorite color.
I think Donnie.
Yeah.
Come on. You and Donnie would get along. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should call him up.
Yeah.
I bet he would be happy to get fashion tips from you, Jozo.
I would be willing to give him some.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm just happy we had, because that Land of the Lost episode was real heady. I think kids need to learn things like the law of conservation of temporal momentum.
Yes.
Stuff that Enoch was talking about that's hardcore physics.
Wow.
Deep
Stuff.
Real deep.
You could see why Puff's the mayor, because you're not only charming and funny, but you're
So
very, very smart.
Yes, so knowledgeable.
Well, thank you. It takes a lot of brain power to run an island where everything is alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of resource management there.
Yeah.
I wish the politicians of today could understand the importance of taking care of a world where everything is living.
I think they should be watching all the Krofft live streams and take the message that we're trying to tell. Is like, learn from Pufnstuf, everybody.
There you go.
And learn from what David has been talking about and what you've been talking about.
Yeah,
absolutely. Look, David, I think you're Swerve to the Sweetness. That needs to be on bumper stickers and T-shirts.
Wait,
I like that.
I'm going to write Swerve to the Sweetness
Swerve
down.
to the Sweetness.
Kindness is the key to happiness. That's another big one.
There you go.
We may need to call the copyright office after this and get the Swerve to the Sweetness, locked up, because that's a great catchphrase, Pufnstuf.
Yeah. Well, that was David's. I can't take credit for that.
He's with us.
That's public domain now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We want everyone to use it.
Sure.
So before we start the episode, we're going to take a look at another special video that was made for us by two Krofft legends. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Hi, everybody. This is Johnny Whitaker.
And Scott Kolden from the fancy show, Sigmund
and the Sea Monsters, which is brand new on Cineverse, the Sid and Marty Krofft channel.
Fantastic.
Yes, we're all excited about that. All 27 episodes.
What?
That's right. All 27.
That's crazy.
And right now, we've got our friends HR Pufnstuf and David Arquette, along with Jozo the Clown and our good friend Rob Klein.
Love Rob.
How's it going, everybody? And we're going to be watching together The Wild Weekend.
Wild.
And
Why
who's
is it
in
called
that?
Wild Weekend.
That's with Jack Wild, who's another Krofft alum from HR Pufnstuf.
Little Jimmy.
So, what do you remember from that one, Scott?
In that episode, I remember that little Jimmy wasn't little anymore. He was this big, cool dude with unbuttoned shirt, even smoking on break. I'm like, wow, this guy's like, I'm hanging out with like Paul McCartney or something. This is crazy.
Because he spoke with that English accent. And then he
And
asked
then-
me all about the girls and what I thought about, the girls on the set. And it was like, we didn't
trying
have
to get you to hook him up.
And it was just like, the only girl I remember is Zelda. I mean, Mary. I don't think you want Mary.
That would be an interesting combination.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. For all the rest of the episodes, click on the link down below, wherever it is. And my brother here, Scott, and the rest, we're here to watch and enjoy.
Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.
Now, David, you got to share with us the story on how you got involved with Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. I mean, tell us. I can't wait to hear this one.
Oh boy, those calls get loose.
You look so pretty after your bath. Yes, you do. You're gonna be the hit of the pet show.
Captain Barnabas.
Now, be a good little darling while I go to get prettied up. And you, Daddy.
That was a great role. I saw every episode of that. That was really fun.
Can't you take him with
Now,
you?
David, there's a picture that you autographed for the Krofft office, and I hope it doesn't embarrass you or anything, but it's hysterical. You wrote to Marty, "Thanks for the check, David Arquette," which I thought was absolutely classic. So that one has been archived in the Sid Marty Krofft archives, and I think it's just absolutely hilarious. That was really your signature, right? It wasn't like Witchy Poo forging something, or
Hey, Big Daddy.
Okay.
It's time for the Miss Underwater Beauty Contest on the television.
Well, put it on, quick!
You bet I will.
Now,
That's gonna be a beauty.
where did you guys shoot Sigmund? The new one.
All right. Look, Bert Porpoise is bringing out the beauties.
Wow, so literally the same locations and places where the original Sigmund was actually shot at the old Warner Hollywood lot, and one of the great epic stories was that a light fell on top of the cave set and burned down the soundstage. So the Sigmund stage burned down and the Barnaby Jones stage burned down.
Wow.
And then what happened was, which was so great, Sigmund moved to the location of the studio where they were shooting Land of the Lost, so they got back up on production.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But things happen.
Yeah,
fire.
lights-
Go back to the
lights
fire
fall.
thing. Yeah. Fire's
start.
dangerous. Yeah.
Did Buddy Ebsen make it?
I think he did.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. No one was harmed. Actually, the only thing that was damaged, from what I understand, other than the soundstage, was Marty.
The stage.
Yeah, besides the stage, was Marty Krofft's Rolls Royce.
It's really great of you guys to invite me
Which
for the
belonged
weekend.
to the
You
Beach
sure it won't be
Boys and
any
the
trouble?
Beatles. We never were able to figure out what exactly, but the rubble basically damaged Marty's car. And but Marty, he was more concerned about the stage and the actors, and everybody was unhurt.
Those are Rolls Royce mixed.
I don't remember
I think it is. He'd always say it's handmade. So that was like the catch for Rolls Royce, for handmade cars. David,
Wow.
do you know anything about Rolls Royce or cars or?
About what now?
Rolls Royce cars. Like Jozo was asking if they're expensive.
I don't know.
I don't.
Yeah, Bozo had a Rolls Royce.
Oh.
Wow.
And on the license plate it said Bozette.
Bozette.
Yeah, Bozette was their version before Jozo became, but she never became public. So.
Wow.
My rescue
but-
race was pretty expensive.
Oh yeah, I loved
Easy to
Wacky
maintain.
Racers
Fast.
too. Talking about Saturday morning Wacky Racers was a really fun show.
I remember
Reminded me
that
a lot
show.
of the Crofts.
Which show?
Wacky Racers. It was
the
a
Wacky-
Hanna-Barbera show.
Wacky Racing. Yeah. Well, Jozo, now that you mentioned Hanna-Barbera, this would be a great time to mention that it was actually Hanna-Barbera that got Sid and Marty started in live-action television, because Hanna-Barbera approached Sid and Marty, who made the costumes for their show called Banana Splits.
Wow.
Yeah.
They made the costumes. The show was a big hit, and the head of the network said to Marty and Sid, "You're crazy if you guys don't develop your own show, make the costumes, and put your show on the air." And that's exactly what they did. And then Puff, that's how you were able to come and hang out with everybody. Was sort of the Hanna-Barbera and the Banana Split. They were certainly a part of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so great to hear.
Yeah.
When you look at the puppets up close, they use such interesting materials. Like those strings there are like a leash from a surfboard. But I also love the story of how Sid came up with the idea initially for Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, where a big lump of seaweed had washed up, and he had been sitting on the beach, and he saw this big lump of seaweed, and he took it and put it in his convertible car, and he had this idea for this show based on a lump of seaweed.
That may be the best creation story in the history of entertainment.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
And being-
Plus
being
the worst
Ford-
thing to do to a convertible.
Yeah, and being 420, they also often asked Sid what his inspiration was, but they never really confirmed. I'm sort of speaking around things, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, he still has that to this day. He never grew out of that jumper.
Amazing thing about Sid is he lives in a place that kind of looks like this.
Like
It's
this
this
clubhouse?
real beautiful utopia where he's got a
Mum's the word. I wouldn't say a word about it.
uh,
Nobody believed me anyway. They think I've gone.
a window above his bed that opens up so he can see the sky. He's got a
wow.
tree house. He's got a garden with all organic vegetables, which he's been eating since the 70s, making his own food. Sid is really just such a brilliant, wonderful, creative person.
Sid Krofft is an absolute national treasure, and he just lives a life and creates things, and just absolutely magical. It's going to be so great that he's going to be at that parade tomorrow, and the public
Yeah.
can spend some time with Sid.
Yes, for sure. He's just the best.
Yeah.
Love him so
Grandfather of
much.
puppetry.
Love him. And Marty, one of the reasons Marty loved me so much is because he said I was the only actor that always picked up the check. And we have this great story. Oh, I maybe even share it for after, but we went to this concert of Andre Botticelli, and we were in Miami for a convention, and Andre Botticelli was playing. So I bought tickets. They're relatively expensive, and we didn't have much time, so we rushed over to the place, but we only caught like the last few notes of him singing.
Oh, no.
Marty couldn't believe that we were still like gonna try to do this, but we saw the last few notes, and he was like, he got such a kick out of that. I spent so much money on these tickets, and we only heard a few notes. But luckily, he came back and sang like his big, famous song as an encore. So we did catch one whole song.
That's a great story. That's hilarious.
So
It was
worth
really
it.
fun. It was totally worth
So
it.
it was a high price ticket, but it was
Yeah.
worth every penny because you were there with Marty and you made a
Absolutely.
memory with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Classic stories.
Oh, if he ain't here when sweet
Do you
Oh,
guys have
no.
a favorite member of the Ooze family?
Oh.
Big Daddy and Blurp and Slurp.
I just burp and slurp. The names alone are hilarious.
Big Daddy scares me. I met him in person, and he's terrifying for real.
Wow, I love that badge that you have.
She's
Sparkly.
She's real fashionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and she could face them. Well, I guess
Captain
not
Barnabas
wardrobe.
got
She's
captured
got
by
them.
these guys in the final episode.
Got accepted
Our
to
Sigmund
galore.
and Sea Monsters. So I don't know if he's still living with them in that cave.
Last I heard, he
Barnabas?
he was. No, Sigmund. He's still living with his family.
Yeah, Sigmund's
He,
safe.
he was, yeah, he was saving up to move out, but I don't know if that ever happened.
Get a bigger cave?
How do you make money as a sea monster?
I think you just collect it at the
You don't need money as a sea monster, or they use sea dollars.
Yeah,
Got it.
sand dollars. He
Sand
dollars,
collects
yeah.
sand dollars and spends them.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wonder what the currency
Maybe he's hiding out with Sigmund, huh?
Oh my God, that's a great question.
Well, it's variable. I don't think they have a gold standard or anything. I don't know what it's based on.
Wow. Well, yeah, there was a lot of shell puns on Sigmund and the Sea Monsters.
Do you know
there's
there's a
Jack.
volcano that's erupting right now? That is,
Right now?
yeah, that's emitting gold, like gold
Like
flakes.
Like for real?
Yes, for
Is that
real.
because the world can't handle this live stream show that we're doing? There's too much
Probably.
froth happening.
Where is this?
Wow.
Oh, I'm not sure exactly. I just saw it online. I might be spreading misinformation.
Wow.
Yeah.
The settlers is already complaining about
I hope it's real, but came from the internet, so read it with a little
That's kind of cool.
skepticism, I suppose.
Well, I just think there's just too much entertainment happening in the world, and the volcano's erupting because of this wonderful program we're doing. You can't. It's just too cool what we're doing.
Do you know where Zelda put my backpack?
Now that's Prince, the lobster, who is the the Ooze's pet lobster, and Scott Kolden shared with me once that his favorite thing to do was occasionally he would get to puppeteer Prince, and he said that really meant a lot to him. That when they weren't shooting, he'd get to go and.
He's really getting a mouthful right now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hello there, Zelda here.
Ooh, that was like very like
Yeah.
British
Yes,
there.
Zelda here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barnabas, it was like captain, but he was kind of like a pirate, so he always had this kind of piratey voice. And then through the course of the show, they kind of started toning him down. They found him a little scary at the beginning, the network did.
Wow.
So they started toning him down. But then, so when he became sort of more human in a way, he also had a bit of a British accent, but he wasn't from the United Kingdom.
David, how did you get told that your character might have been a little too scary? Like, who broke
You
the
can
news
kind
to
of
you?
just tell. They didn't really necessarily come out and say it, but
Facial
they
expressions.
slightly started toning down my wardrobe, my performance, and he became more of a silly character, which was fun.
They got rid of the hook for a hand, and
Yeah.
that was before we even started filming.
Peg
it.
leg.
Yeah.
Well, children's television, maybe, Did Marty ever discuss anything with you about maybe not so scary or Sid or anything? Or?
No, I mean, I think it was Marty who may have told me like we have to tone down the scariness a little.
Right. Well,
because he also had a kind of relationship with the kid's mother in our version, Eileen O'Connell. She was a wonderful actress, and so I think they wanted him to be more human in a way, like less scary.
Yeah, you gotta look out for the kids. It's all about the kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she ran the Tater Tower.
Yeah, she sure did. I love that you remember that.
Yeah, the Tater Tower. It was a place that sold potato everything, pretty much.
Oh man,
I like potatoes.
Oh, dude,
there's this really cool little wharf in Santa Monica. Like, I'm not sure exactly where it is, but it's sort of in the little dock area where you can take your boats out or catch a ferry. And they just built this whole little town there that was so wonderful. And Sid and Marty always made a little like cameo where they'd come out and they'd be in a golf cart or something. It was really great to see them there.
Wow, absolutely classic.
Yeah, I remember that. They had a couple good walk-bys. I remember when the little girl was selling lemonade. And she was like, "You want some lemonade?" And they were both like, "Nope." That was their cameo.
That's hilarious.
It was great.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's classic. So you guys sounded like you had a wonderful time making that series, Sigmund and the Sea Monster, for Amazon.
I wonder if that's animatronics.
Wow. Jozo, I'm very impressed. Animatronics, yeah. It's probably like an RC car just going across there. But,
I don't know. That's sand. I'm thinking that would be expensive. They would just, I think they'd use dragnet.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Now, this music that you hear is done by Michael Lloyd, as I mentioned earlier, that used to produce like the Osmonds. He composed all of this stuff on an old 70s synthesizer called a Moog, which are very, very valuable. David, have you ever heard of the Moog synthesizers before?
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. I have a theremin made by Moog as well.
Yeah, Theremin's like it's like the iconic sort of like.
Well,
you guys should start a rock band.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, we have a whole album we're working on, so
yeah,
be coming out soon.
Album?
What kind of money does a theremin cost? I can't imagine that like Guitar Center carries those. Where do you get a theremin?
I got it years ago, but it's signed by Moog, the actual inventor.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
I have a musician friend who owns one, and it's real fun. I try to play with it every time I go over there, because you just wave your hand and you can make tones.
Yeah, how does it work?
Yeah.
I think it senses.
It works. There's like a metal rod that sticks up that controls the pitch, and then there's a circular rod connected to it that controls the volume. So you use the volume and the pitch to sort of make music.
Wow. Yeah, I think when you think of the theremin, I think of the Beach Boys song "Good Vibrations." That's a good song to maybe go and listen to learn what a theremin sounds like.
Well, speaking of that kind of music, we, Bozo and Jozo and Nunu did a song with Laramie Dean, who's a famous surf song maker, and it's called No Bozos on the Beach.
Wow.
Awesome.
I don't know if I agree with the sentiment, but the music's probably pretty good.
All bozos are allowed on the beach.
Yes. See, there he is,
Yep.
the animatronic. That looks like they're just pulling him along, but who knows?
Yeah.
I think they just got a fishing line and yanked them across the beach. Yeah.
Now, there's not much to Jack Wilde's costume there. It's just a vest and a pair of trousers,
Yeah.
I mean, he's on the beach. It's his beach fit.
Right. It was a simpler time.
It was
too.
a simpler
yeah,
time, yeah.
And a
very
time of
great.
extreme denim.
Yes.
I remember.
Lots of denim. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that a
Look at all the denim inside.
Irish suit?
Yeah, and he's got like an eagle or something on the back.
Yeah, he's
So
got some nice patchwork
yeah,
there.
nice.
And that was the days of bell bottoms too, where you would use 3 times the fabric of current jeans on your bell bottom jeans. They'd flare
Yeah, 'cause
out.
now like skinny jeans are in. Total opposite, right?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I like bell bottoms.
Me too.
Yeah, it harkens back to a different time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of bell bottoms, Bozo also has a song called Disco Clown.
Whoa.
Oh.
And it goes, in the 70s, the heyday of the clown, there was a music that was really popular at the time. It was called disco.
Yeah.
So if we want to bring back happy clowns, we have to bring back disco.
Right.
So it's let's save
Have to
disco
bring back
and clowns.
I think that's a great idea.
Gotta
Yeah.
save it.
Yeah,
Gotta
I
save
actually
disco.
love disco. Bee Gees and
Yeah.
they're happy songs and
Casey and the
Feel good
Sunshine
music.
Band,
feel good music. Yeah.
the Gas
So good.
Band.
I remember
so
when
many
it-
good
When a disco version of the Star Wars
Diana
theme
Ross.
came out. I
Yes.
think it was Miko or somebody.
That's exactly what it was.
Wow.
Miko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that I just put that on repeat. Back on record players, you could hit a repeat button and they'd go to the front track.
Yep.
They were
Yep.
sort of programmable.
I've seen you on the Late Late Show.
Now, you guys ever heard the term jumping the shark?
No.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, David, of course, would know. You know, for those that don't know, jumping the shark is kind of in a franchise when you kind of do things differently and kind of break the tradition. And the term comes from the show Happy Days, where they were running out of story ideas. So they thought, wouldn't it be kind of crazy if Fonzie jumps over a shark? But sharks are saltwater, and they jumped over the shark in a lake, so that was kind
Did
of
it really
yeah. It
add
was
up?
it's TV.
But
It's just
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
But Miko, in my opinion, jumped the shark when they were doing Raiders of the Lost Ark disco. Because that was like Raiders was in 80, 81, and
Well-
disco was done. But that's a Miko track, everybody out there. If you can find the Miko Raiders of the Lost Ark disco, that's definitely worth a listen.
I will.
That's
I will
amazing.
definitely
Yeah.
look up that.
Yeah. Well, I can
When-
probably, we'll play it for you at some point, Puff, because I think I
Okay.
have the 45 of it. There's you'll love it. You'll
Yeah, I
love it.
know all of it.
You know, when I was a kid, I grew up right down the street from Paramount Studios, where they filmed Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, and Mork and Mindy.
Ooh,
And
Nice.
as like a
Early, wow.
8-year-old kid, I would walk over alone and wait in line, and then I'd go and watch them film live Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days and Mork and Mindy. And one time I got to wait afterwards, and Fonzie shook my hand, and that meant
Wow.
so much to me, and I was so like amazed. I ran home and told my parents, and then when I got to do Scream, the film Scream, I got to work with Henry Winkler, and I told him that story, and he said, "Well, let me shake your hand again." And we shook hands. He's just such a wonderful person.
What a great
He
guy.
may be the nicest person in showbiz, which I've
Yeah,
heard.
he's
Henry
just
Winkler.
great. And
Yeah.
the work that
Next
he's
to you,
doing
Pup,
on
and next to
Barry
you,
is
Oh,
just
I
so
was gonna
well.
say David might be the nicest
yes,
person in
David.
showbiz.
I mean,
He's a national treasure. David, I don't know if you heard this, but I actually got to meet Anson Williams and Johnny Most, and they told me that John Lennon from the Beatles actually came to a taping of Happy Days,
Oh wow.
and they got to meet, and I was like, why was John Lennon there? And they said he was a fan of the show.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
how cool is
they
that?
love
You know,
comedy.
Of
If you
course,
saw that-
yeah, of course.
If you
I would
saw
love
that last documentary they did,
Yeah, it was awesome.
Peter Sellers came by, and you could just tell they were really friendly. A lot of their references were to old comedians. A lot of their like Bungalow Bill and Rocky Raccoon just
Oh,
have
yeah.
such humor to them.
Beatles are magical, just like you, Pufnstuf, and you, Jozo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
oh, you're right. You're magical yourself.
Well,
Rob.
it's just hard to keep up with you guys, but I'm doing my best. No,
You're the greatest.
no, David. I'm so captivated by your Fonzie story. Was Henry Winkler in costume as the Fonz, or was he out of
When I
costume?
shook his hand,
when
he
you
was
shook his
in
hand.
costume still. Yeah.
So technically, you might have met the Fonz and not Henry Winkler.
Sounds like
I did.
That's something that not a lot of people can say.
I'm telling
that
you.
is cool.
I think it rubbed off because I can still hit a jukebox and it'll start playing for me.
Well, that's awesome. If you ever have some downtime, maybe you can go into like jukebox repair, you know, the
Absolutely.
good whack, you know, working.
I have to let my dogs out. I'll be right back.
Hands when you're holding hands.
It would be sticky, right? Yes. You know, it's tough. Show business can be tough at sometimes, right? Right?
For
Sky
sure.
Rose.
Well, Sky Rose.
Wow.
He was a huge influence on the Krofts. Did a lot. I started with him with Pufnstuf and worked on everything. You were just hip. You know to say Cy Rose. That's so cool.
You know,
Well, you see
little
his,
Krofft knowledge.
yeah, you see his name at the end of the show, and you're like, wow, he must be a bigwig.
Yeah, he worked on a show called McHale's Navy for Universal, so he's a class act. And Marty
Here's
and
another
Sid
little friend of ours. This is Luna.
Oh,
Hi,
Oldest
Luna.
dog in the world. Hi, Luna.
What a cutie.
Well,
now, how many animals
Real
are
old
over there?
basset hound.
Wow.
Hey, well, it's Bozo's barn over there.
Yeah.
He's got a whole barnyard.
It's like a dozen
Yeah,
animals.
we really do.
Do you have any ranch hands out there that help you, David? Keep
No.
things, or is it just you? Or
No, we're doing it all on our own.
Your
My
own
wife
hands?
is
Wow.
really ambitious.
wow,
We have her mother Nana helps us out quite a bit as well.
wow.
Oh, good.
And I'll bet you the air is just wonderful and fresh out there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a real
Nice.
beautiful place. Just
Wow.
wish some of the politics are getting a little out of hand.
Well, Puff, you'll have to advise us on politics
Yeah,
because that's kind
sure.
of your
Yeah.
wheelhouse.
Yeah. that's your
Anytime.
specialty.
I would say, well, I'm not political, but, well, we all know that's not true.
Yeah.
You know, there's this group called the Tennessee Three who got expelled from the Tennessee State Congress or whatever, and Justin Jones, one of the Tennessee Three, came to visit Bozo's barnyard recently.
Oh,
So that was
wow.
really an
Love
honor to
him.
meet him. He's a real hero.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a real good fighter.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you, but this was so much fun, and I loved hearing the stories from you, Jozo, and from you, David. I know that we haven't even scratched the surface on all the wonderful tales and Pufnstuf.
Yeah.
What did you think? How do you think your show looks?
Oh, my show looks beautiful. I'm so happy that they refurbed all the old frames, and it's all looking sparkly and beautiful now. So
Coloring.
it's great. I'm going to watch all the episodes over again because
Wow.
you know what? In watching that, there's a lot I don't remember from 50 years ago. So this is it's going to be a real re-education. That'll be fun.
Well, it's a real testament to Sid and Marty for keeping these shows safe and in a temperature-controlled fall, so we could have pulled them out and reintroduce the world to the wonderful things and the wonderful shows they made.
And thank God for Cineverse, so we have access to
Oh,
it.
oh, yeah.
Cineverse.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Cineverse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready to binge. Watch.
Let's binge. Let's
Yeah.
binge it up. And, you know, they've been great partners for Sid Marty Krofft Pictures. And we wanted to thank all the Cineverse people.
We love Cineverse.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and of course all the members of Sid Marty Krofft Pictures who helped make this watch party possible. Robin, who's working the tech behind the scenes for Cineverse, she's
Robin.
been great. Thank you, Robin. And then the great thing is that you can see the Sid and Marty Krofft shows on Cineverse as well as Tubi, Roku, Prime Video, iTunes, and Google Play.
Wow.
And
Wow.
you know, and that was Marty Krofft who came up with that. He said he didn't want to just go with one streaming platform. He said he wanted to get it on as many things as possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that just goes to show you how forward thinking he was. And up to the very end, you know, he was doing magic. Kind of chokes me up because
Absolutely.
we wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to be doing this together without that
Yeah.
vision.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Now,
He would
Marty,
work.
We love you, Sid.
Now, I got a question, Rob.
yes.
Is there a feature where you can press a button and it will randomly give you a selection of Krofft shows, one after the other.
I believe so. We're tweaking the Cineverse Sid Marty Krofft channel as we speak, and things are changing every week. So you want to keep an eye on our Facebook page and our Instagram page, and also the Cineverse homepage. And they're going to keep everybody up to date
with the world of Krofft.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And we have so many fun things planned. But more importantly, everybody go out and hang with David and Bozo and Jozo and Sid Krofft, and everybody go out there and and let them know how much.
And swerve to the sweetness.
Swerve
Yes.
to
Yeah.
the sweetness.
There you go.
And we got to end in our
Gnactic?
Yeah,
Should we give them
Gnactic.
one? Okay,
Yeah.
everybody ready?
Good
Good.
Yes.
night.
What an
David,
honor
would
to
you?
watch this.
Yes.
Yeah, you too. Thank you, Jozo. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Krofft.
Thank you.
David, you got to come
Thank you,
back and do
David.
this again, please.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
Stories.
Great to see you, my friend.
And
You
don't
too.
forget to like, subscribe, and watch all the Krofft shows on Cineverse.
Nothing could be better said than that. So we'll end there, and have a great Saturday, everybody.
Yeah.
Just
Bye.
laughing. We love you.
Let's make Saturday mornings again.
Yes.
Saturday mornings live.
That was awesome.